Friends, subscribers, and trainers, what's up? So I'm wearing the same shirt as in the last video. Oops. So I'm trying to make more videos. I need to get ahead. So I want to talk to you about Whatnot shipping today. I'm going to show you an example of how I ship one customer's order, and there's going to be a lot in this one customer. It's going to be I made a mistake, so I'm going to fix the mistake, and then I'm going to show you how I fix the mistake and show you how Whatnot shipping works. So Joni's show, you can check it out every Sunday night at 6:30. She sells vintage. This is an order from her vintage show. We had a customer who bought last week and a customer bought this week. So this week, this is a brass pendant out of a bridle set, a horse bridle. It would go on something that looks like this. There'd be 4 of them that hang here. So he bought this one, and these mice are made by Homeco. They made a lot of collectible stuff back in the 80s. Each one of these guys is numbered. The Homeco mice. There are 3 of them. So I got to get these. We got to get these items. So that's 2 items. So how does it work? So we have what's called reduced shipping turned on. That means anything you buy from us in that show, the max shipping you're going to pay is $9.21. So I think this guy was like 15 ounces, so it didn't go over $1, so he only paid like $5. And then when these mice took it over £1, you know, it charged you the difference of $9.21. That's it. And so I had people that bought 7 items, 7 heavy items, and they're all paid $9.21. So each week, you know, it'll allow me to make some adjustments. I get 5 adjustments per week with the shipping, and so usually I use them up on Monday. A lot of people do the same thing, which is fine. And then I'll just pay the difference going through the rest of the week. Some shows, you know, Joni's show with the bigger glass stuff, I try to use the adjustments there because the items are heavier. And so let's tell you about this customer. So this is the guy, he was in a couple videos ago. This is a nutcracker. I didn't think it sold. Joni didn't think it sold. I sent it to Van Massey to our local auction, not realizing that this same customer had bought this. He bought some other things too, and they went out. Sent him a message saying, hey, I apologize for this. I will grab this weekend, and I'll get this out to you. Well, in the meantime, he bought something else, and so I decided I'd wait and stick this in this box here going out. Sent me a message saying, hey, you didn't forget, right? I'm like, no, sir. I'm going to take care of you. You're going to get a free gift in there, too. Remember, Whatnot is different than every other platform. Whatnot there's a social media aspect to Whatnot where you're building your own audience and you're wanting people to come back to your shows. And so if you're good at customer service and you're good at all those things, you will be very good at Whatnot because, you know, giving people good items, good value, shipping correctly, and if you mess up, make up for it. Take care of the customer at whatever it takes. And so this guy here was one of 4. We sold 2 of them, and there's going to be 2 more this coming Sunday in that show. I didn't know what we were going to do with this, the leather belt that goes with it. And so I decided I would include the leather belt for this customer for me to make a mistake. So he's going to get the leather belt that goes with it. So if you've got one, chances are he might have more than one. So he's going to get the leather belt that goes with it. And this was our giveaway. I've got a bunch of these left over from quite a long time. So this time of year, these are good ones. This is a 5-piece set. He didn't win one of the giveaways, 4 other people did. So he's getting a free giveaway as well. So to make up for my mistake, so let's show you how we ship this. So the way it works is anything over £1 in reduced shipping, you've got to use priority shipping up to £5, and then it'll switch to Ground Advantage after that. Unless for that same thing for me, because they've paid the priority shipping, I can use flat rate boxes. So even though this little bitty stuff here is very little, it could have gone in a different box, different priority box, I can use the large flat rate to add the extra items and the makeup item. So that's what we're doing today. I hope that all makes sense. I'll have to show you another one about how this thing is set up. So, so let's build this box first. Don't y'all love the tape machine? Okay, so basically all we're gonna do is, so those mice have got to make it. So let's make sure they make it. Because remember, this guy is heavy, and so I don't want it moving around the box because it'll create havoc in the box. And so I've folded it over the part of the mouse that's more delicate on the front to give a little double coverage. I don't like the way it left that ear a little uncovered. So where my scissors, we found them from the last video. I'm gonna do a 1.5 sheet of bubble wrap, and bubble wrap. I know, Supply Hut. Those guys are the cheapest, and I actually don't use my code on the website. Sorry, Charlie. He runs bubble wrap cheaper on eBay. So so I'm gonna squash that down a little bit to cover his ears. Yeah, that worked out better. And then some people might not do it this way, but you know, I want this guy to get there in pristine condition. So there you go. There's that one. We got one more. Takes a little bit more time. I think on average, depending on how many items, this order, I could have knocked this out without the camera and without explaining it in 2 or 3 minutes. I could have got this knocked out. But I've got a couple of them that are 7 orders, 7 items, 6 items that are heavy. Those are probably going to take me 15 to 20 minutes in order, so I figure 10 minutes. So basically you can go into your account and it's going to say, so we sold 79 items. Of those 79, we ran 79 items. We sold 79 total. That's including the giveaways. So of those 79 items, there's 21 buyers. 2 of them are local, so 2 of the orders are going to be picked up. So I don't have to worry about shipping those. But the other 19 orders have got to go. Today's the day. So you get 48 hours. Normally I wouldn't put this in bubble wrap. I would figure out like paper or something, but I don't want it moving around and maybe hurting something. Those little mice. This is probably, you're probably thinking this is overkill. It's just, I got to feel comfortable that it's going to get there. I don't want any issues. So let's go. I hope I ain't gonna bust the bubble wrap. We got 2 of the bigger pieces here, so we'll wrap it up. But it takes a little bit of getting used to and figuring out if you're gonna do the max shipping. And I would suggest you do the max shipping because the difference, even if you lose a little shipping every now and then, I'll run 3 or 4 shows this week, and it might be 4 or 5 times I have a little bit. The other day I had a 3, a 4. I had 2 3s and a 4. I ended up paying like $10 shipping for that show, but it's worth the extra sales because remember, people think it's, well, I didn't get any extra sales, I had to pay that. It's whenever people, it's a mindset thing with an auction that if they know the shipping is less, you know, maybe they didn't win that 4th item, but they bid on it when they wouldn't have bid on it. And so you got a better price to be. So I think it's an overall positive thing that if you, because you definitely want people bidding. And so if you encourage, let's steal this little piece off the roll. So you want people bidding, even if they don't win, it will, the items will go up. And so it's an overall win for the seller, overall win for the buyer. Because remember, if it's extra shipping, you can't win you don't win anything on Whatnot. You can only lose on shipping on Whatnot. And so why do you want the customer to pay extra to get the post office more money? Why do you want, you don't want to pay any extra money than you would think Whatnot wins, but it's just probably just what they pay for the post office. So he's going to get that, lay that across there. Just trying to pack this down. All right, so try to see how much room I had in there. So let's bring that back out. I'm gonna put some paper in there. Remember, just Supply Hut 40-pound paper. I don't want them to lay on the bottom. And I also try to put the items in towards the middle, if I can help it, because the damage happens around the edges. So if you look at it, I've got paper on the bottom, and that's the kitchen stuff, so it doesn't matter. And then everything here is in the middle. And so now I'm going to put paper around here so that these guys are all protected in the middle. I'll use a little more paper this time. I've got the extra roll over there. The enemy is movement. You want protection from crushing and no movement. So most of the time I work my way around the edges. Sorry about that. So now you can see it kind of worked around the edges. So I'm going to put one more little piece right there. Just because I don't want nothing to happen. Put that right on top. Box is nice and tight now. You want a nice tight box. I'll just leave that alone. Yeah. So it doesn't matter the weight because it's large flat rate. So as long as I go over to this customer and select flat rate, it won't charge me anything, and they've already been paid shipping, and everything's hunky-dory. So I hope just one order out of my 19 that I got to do today. But I just thought it was important today to show you kind of how it works. You know, I could have put this in I've got an old regional rate box. I could have used that. I've got some shoe boxes that would have fit in a shoe box perfectly fine. I could have done a shoe box, but then I would run the risk of, let's see how much this weighs. It weighs 3 pounds, so it would have been fine to go in this box. But I think this is a stronger box. I don't really like using the shoe boxes because I think they're too long, and so they're weak through the middle. And I don't like things that might break, so I try to use so Whatnot shipping. Remember, it changes some things now. Look what box I'm using. This one was eBay. This box cost me $1.06. This is Whatnot. So when you're thinking about your overall cost, and but you got 20% higher prices on eBay, but your shipping expenses are going to be higher. And so, if I'd have sold all these things individually, my shipping would have been higher. So you've got to try to make it from apples to oranges to closer to apples to almost apples in your comparison, and I do a true honest comparison, but overall picture of not just the sales price of an item. So many people get stuck. Most items I will promote up to 8%. So if I'm max promoted at a 14 plus 8, I'm at 22% fees, or 22% fees. Whatnot max is 14. So not only my fees are cheaper, my shipping supplies are cheaper. So that means that brings that profit number. Don't get so focused on the sales number. Run the numbers, true numbers, understand what your profit is and what your cost is per item, and you can sell on multiple platforms. Hope that helps. Just wild thoughts from the crazy bearded dude. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm trying to turn the camera on for everything I do, so if I wear the same shirt a couple of videos, I apologize for that. I'm not smart enough to bring 3 or 4 shirts out here. Way too lazy for that. Alright. See you next video. Have a good one.